Hey guys, it's Mudsy here from Muay Thai Interviews again, and my next guest, I've got a real treat for you guys. He's from Sweden. He's currently training and fighting out of Sangtienoi Gym in Thailand. He's been given the nickname Sammon Dekkers by the Deadly Kisser himself. He's been absolutely killing it over in the Bangkok fight scene. He's fought on all the big names and all the big stadiums, and as I like to call him, the Swedish sensation. I'm joined by Sam Bark. How are you, mate?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks for your time. What's been happening, dude?
No worries, bro. Nothing much. Just been training, eating, sleeping.
The life of a Thai fighter. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, mate, I'll probably start with the question that I ask everyone. How did Muay Thai all start for you, and how did you find it?
It wasn't too popular back home, but it was like something I always wanted to try. Like I've seen like fights on TV, like the WWE, is it? The wrestling?
The wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I always seen that, but I never tried because I always been in like soccer, football. So I always trained that, so I didn't have time to like try anything else really. But then eventually I just tried it, and then I stopped football, like 16 years of football. I stopped that and just 100% Muay Thai.
And so, how old were you when you started?
16,
16.
yeah.
Awesome, dude. Now, I don't know too much about the fight scene over in Sweden. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about what it's like, and especially when you were fighting over there?
Yeah, it's not as it's in Australia. It's very normal with professional fights like knees to the head and elbows and no protection. But in Sweden, it's really like it's very it's very rare that you can like after 10 fights, you fight with elbows and knees to the head, like so it's a lot of like amateur fights more, get your experience up, and then maybe go to Denmark at the first times, go to Denmark and try full contact.
Yeah.
But now it's more common now, but yeah, when I started it was more like amateur fights.
Yeah, and were you padded as well?
Yeah, yeah. So like shin guards, headgear, all that shit.
Mate, I reckon watching a lot of amateur fights, the headgear does more harm than good, because so many times you see people get like, punched or kicked in the head and they can't see, so they're readjusting their headgear, but by the time that's happened, the other guy or the other lady could have landed like, two or three punches or end the fight. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. And I actually heard like I guess like if you get like in boxing you get heaps of punches to your head, like that's not good. Like it's better with one punch knockout than like again and again and again. And I think if you have the helmet on, and if it doesn't hurt too much, but it's still like heavy blows to the head again and again, and you sort of like you're okay with that. You have a helmet on, you can take them, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Sort of allows you to take more hits to the head, which is not good.
Gives you more chance of being concussed sometimes, doesn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Now, mate, after you fought in Sweden, sorry, how many fights did you have in Sweden before you decided to come to Australia?
I think about 14 fights.
14. Yeah,
First time before the first time I left for like 5 months to Australia. First time,
yeah,
and
mate.
I had a fight.
Awesome. Because I was wondering, would you be able to tell us when you did come out to Australia? You started training and living at Superfight Gym in Melbourne, where you trained under Don Miller. Mate,
Yeah.
would you be able to tell the listeners how that all unfolded, and what made you specifically choose Australia to come to continue your Muay Thai journey?
Um, I just heard like I saw the Warriors of the Mongkong. Is it called?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, this is not Thailand, but it's pretty like they like Muay Thai. It looks cool. Like
It was a well
seems
done.
big.
It was a well
Yeah,
done
yeah,
video, man.
yeah, yeah.
Serious.
So I was like, oh, cause I wanna travel the world as well. So I was like, oh, maybe go there, work, and still like see what's about with the Muay Thai. Like if I can have it a go, like see how I go in Australia.
Yeah. And how did you end up landing at Superfight Gym with Don Miller?
I just wrote like a message, like a mail, and I just sent it to all the gyms I could find in Australia,
Yeah.
like all the Muay Thai gyms. And I think it was one in Geelong that answered, and Don. And Don was like, "Oh, you can fight this date, you can fight this guy and this weight, and then you can fight here, and you can stay at the gym, you can live there. This is how much it is." And I was like, "Oh, this guy is serious."
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, no second thoughts. I just went to see him.
And haven't looked back since, eh, mate? The
And
rest, they
then
say,
back
is
since.
history.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Australia, mate, you fought on a number of shows, and you fought a number of opponents from Australia. Would you be able to tell us about some of the shows you fought on and some of the opponents?
Yeah, I had my first fight in Melbourne at Chase's nightclub. I can't remember what promotion though, sorry, promoter, but I fought Eden Sayari,
Oh, yep, yep.
and yeah, that was a pretty fun fight. And it was a lot of heat before the fight, like we were trash talking and stuff, so that was fun. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten me, but yeah, no hard feelings, bro.
Uh, Mate, and you fought, who else have you fought? You fought Chad, you fought Roy.
Uh, Jamie Stamp, Tom Sitjotong, uh, yeah, who hasn't fought?
That's probably the question I should ask you. Who have you not fought?
Yeah,
That'd be an easier one, wouldn't it?
yeah, no, when you put it like that, I'm like, yeah, who hasn't fought? Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of them.
Awesome, mate. That's cool. Now, mate, you are currently fighting out of Sangtienoi Gym in Bangkok. Mate, how did you end up like at that gym? How did that all unfold? Because also Sangtienoi's got two gyms, doesn't he? Which gym are you at?
Yeah, I'm at the gym for professional fighters. You got another gym which is more clean and more like fitness. So that's more just for just fat camp.
And
And this is like for fighters, like real like professional gym. This one.
professional. How did you get set up at Sangtienoi? Like, how did that all happen? Did Don set you up, or did you look out for yourself, or?
Yeah, it was Don. Like I didn't knew who Sangtien was at that time.
Yeah.
I just saw him like in a movie. Like when Don showed me, he was like, "Oh, this is the guy," and I was like, "Oh, I've seen him in Shock D, like a Muay Thai movie." But I had no idea he was this famous. But yeah, it's through Don. He sent me.
So you set it up, the whole thing,
Yeah, he set the whole thing up.
and so you've pretty much been there ever since.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, mate. That's pretty cool. Now, mate, what I wanted to ask you was roughly. So, how long have you been at Sangtienoi, and just under Sangtienoi, how many fights have you had out of his gym now?
Sorry, how long I've been here? Or
Yeah, how long have you been at Sangtienoi Gym, and how many fights have you fought out of his gym?
yeah, I think 2.5 years, maybe almost 3 years altogether. I don't know, man. Like 2.5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And I probably had in between 20 and 30 fights for him.
Jeez, you don't
Pretty
muck,
sure.
you
I'm
don't
pretty
muck
sure.
around, do you, Sam?
Yeah. Like 100% or nothing, I guess.
That's it, mate. That's it. And say on any given day at his gym, how many people would you be training alongside? And do they all live at the gym, or do you get some people that just pop in, or people that don't live at the gym?
Yeah, it's like normally it's about 8 to 10 people that's every day training.
Yeah.
And that's with the Thais and with foreigners as well. But people come, like foreigners come, stay 1 month, and then they go, and then maybe 3 months later, another guy comes and he stay maybe 3 months, then he goes, and then this new guy. So just yeah.
Okay. And how many how many people living at the gym and training like yourself?
Um, One other guy, Lockie, he's from Australia too.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
from
from
John Wayne Park's gym.
yeah.
He's here now, so and I think he'd be here a long time. He's leaving here now, so
Well, I tell you
and he
what.
was in Thailand like 2 years before he got like to this place in Samui. So he got experience too. So he stay.
Well, mate, he's only going to get better. Like, if you're punching people in the face, they can only get better at training, can't they?
Hey, yeah.
Now, mate, I want to talk about a couple of your shows you've been on. When you first came to Thailand, you were a regular on Max, and you actually went through a 8-fight winning streak on that. And you've also fought on MX Extreme. That's with the MMA 4-ounce gloves. Mate, could you tell us a bit about your experiences on Max and what that was like?
Yeah, that was like the best experience I've ever had in Thailand because they made me like they wanted to build me up like as a superstar. So
Yeah.
at first I was like, oh, I'll try this, and I won by knockout, and I was like, oh. And next fight, fought again, won by knockout in the first round again, and I was like, okay, this is weird. And they would like just, oh, Sammon, and build me up, you know. So I started to believe them, like that I was a superstar, but I wasn't. Like I'm not, but I started to believe them, and then like kind of became one there for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
And mate, I want to ask, what was it like fighting on MX with those MMA gloves? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it was intense. It was really intense.
Yeah, it's just like a technical brawl, isn't it?
Yeah, cause like my trainer was Sangtienoi was like, oh, this guy, he's a southpaw, but he would be like, he would step back and he would like kick, and like how the Thai style step back and kick.
Yeah, try and smash
And I
your
was
arms.
like, yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. I like to fight these kind of fights because I can be the aggressive one.
Yeah,
And then I just realized straight away, like he came to kill me. Like he didn't want to step back. Like he came to take my head off, and I was like, okay, this is the guy I'm fighting. Okay, let's do this.
sweet dude, sweet. Now, mate, recently you've been fighting in the big stadiums in Bangkok, and you lost a decision in a title fight in last December against Pong Siri, which I actually watched on TV, and I
Yeah.
actually thought you were robbed. How have you found trying to adapt to 5 rounds where it's a slower pace than a three round sprint where you're just out for blood from the first round? How have you found adapting to that?
I kind of at first I liked 3 rounds more because the judges they don't allow you to like run away. They want you to fight like fight good, like entertaining. So 3 rounds is good like that. But then I also like 5 rounds because I don't have to. I sometimes in 3 rounds I feel that I get stressed, like I got pressure. I just let everything go and don't think.
Yeah,
But in 5 rounds I can like take my time and find my timing and don't stress too much. So I like 5 rounder more now. But then again, it's also who I'm fighting. So if I'm fighting a guy that's good at running away for 5 rounds, I don't want to fight 5 rounds because I would want to have him in 3 rounds where the referee is like, oh, come on, fight, don't run away. So
Yeah.
it's also who I'm fighting. Yeah.
yeah, mate, and just yeah, with your, how did you feel? Because I personally thought you won that fight with Pong Siri. How did you feel after that?
Yeah, I felt like I wasn't happy because I tried to fight. I wanted to fight. I didn't feel that my heart let me down, but I felt like he won these small tie points. Yes, he did, like in the knee, in the clinch, like last knee, outside, like one kick. I did 3 punches. He did one kick. Yeah, that's accurate. That's true. Like he won points by that, but he didn't fought me like he fought the first fight. We fought in China first time and had a draw.
Was that on Top King?
Yeah, that was on Top King.
Yeah.
And that was like a war. Like we went for like 3 rounds non-stop, and I thought he was gonna come same for 5 rounds, but he didn't. So I was like just chasing him the whole fight, and he was just like staying away from fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I notice when I watch you fight, like you're always the head hunter. You're never the head hunted. So you're always looking to push the fight. If someone wants to stand and bang with you, then that's great. But
Yeah.
does that sort of like piss you off when you fight people and they don't want to stand and trade with you? Like they're just trying to play the points system, so to speak.
Uh, doesn't piss me off really, but if I can choose, like stay with me and trade, it's more fun and it's more don't have to think too much. Like just how am I gonna get this guy or how I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you stay and trade, I reckon it's more entertaining. But then it's smart sometimes. Like if I just walk forward and people is good moving and kicking, they're smart. You know, it's smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Now, dude, one question I really have to ask you is there's an Aussie fighter, Chad Collins, who also trains at Sangtienoi alongside you.
yeah.
A couple of years ago, you both fought each other on Rebellion in Melbourne, where you won by decision. But since
Yes.
then, you both have gotten so much better, and you both are stamping your mark on the Bangkok fight scene and also the international Muay Thai scene. Mate, my question is, if the money was right, would you fight him back in Australia and say he could train in Queensland and you could go back and train down in Melbourne out of Don Miller's super fight gym because you both couldn't train at Sangtienoi in the lead up to the fight? Would you do it, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like we actually talked about that. We were like, if you make it and I make it, like, would we fight each other? Like, it's not impossible. Like, we're the same weight and all that. Like, we fought before. It's like, yeah, if the money was right, we fight. Yeah. But then I don't know. Like, is the money right for him? Just like, how much? How much is too much? Like, how much is my friendship for you? You know what I mean? So we gotta keep it high, you know. We gotta earn some money if we're gonna do that fight.
So should I start speaking to a few promoters in Australia then?
No, not yet. No, I don't wanna be the one saying something. Nah,
No.
we cool. But I mean, if
Uh,
it's good money, of course. Like if it's good money, you know.
money talks, mate. Money
Yeah,
talks.
that's it.
Now, mate, when you are in fight prep, what's a typical day from start to finished, and what's involved in your training sessions?
Um, Typical start is run. So I just run, and then that's my warm up, and I come back and wrap my hands, hit the pads, and then clinching 40 minutes, and then hit the bag again, and knee the bag, kick the bag, do all the conditioning stuff and pull-ups, push-ups, all that,
Yeah.
sit-ups.
Does That's what I wanted to ask you. Does Sanctinoi or the trainers, because you know how Thailand everything can be quite regimented. Do you ever get sort of sick of the same? Like, is it always the same day in or day out, or do they ever change it up a little bit? Like, how do you still stay motivated and focused? You know, because sometimes it can get a bit tedious, like going on the same run path. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Like I'm the kind of person like to me that's easy. I'm like, oh, that's simple. Like it's hard, but it's simple. You know. To
Yeah.
me, in my mind, it's easy because it's simple. I don't have to think too much. But yeah, it's pretty much same all the time. You know, like the only thing you gotta set in your head is to be be here like all the time, not just like relax. Just you gotta give it all. Like when you punch, you punch. You know, when you kick 100%. You don't hold back. You know, that's the only thing. You just gotta give it all.
I don't think you know what hold back means, Sam, mate. There is
Yeah.
no feel out period or soft tippy for tappy stuff in the first two rounds. It's just let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, that's what I wanted to ask you, because you fight like around 60, 65, is it? 63 and a half, 65, something like that?
Yeah, I don't want to go under 65 now.
You don't want to go under?
Nah.
So what's your normal walk around weight when you're not cutting for fights?
Uh, when I'm on holiday, like when I'm not eating and drinking to have power to train, you know what I mean? Like then I'm 69, 70.
Yeah,
Because like when I train, I drink a lot of water and I eat a lot of food just to for fuel, for training.
yeah,
And then
definitely.
my weight also go up a lot here in Thailand, especially it's so hot, so I drink so much water, and I'm probably walk around at 73 when I'm training.
73. So yeah, what do you find is your preferred way of cutting weight? Do you sit in saunas or you just run with the sweatsuit?
I just run with a sweatsuit.
And are you into dieting or anything much like that, or you just because it's just Thai food you pretty much eat? Is it?
Yeah, I don't do much dieting like when I'm in Thailand. I don't even cut too much weight. I normally fight 67, like so I don't cut too much.
Yeah, cool.
But if I'd be home or in Australia, we do some dieting and like less carbs and all that.
I was gonna say because do you find it harder to like cut weight when you're in Australia, or say even Sweden where you were? Because I imagine it would be quite cold sometimes. Like in Thailand, a lot of people say like, oh, when I'm in Thailand, I can cut weight no problems because it's so hot and you're just constantly sweating. But
Yeah,
do you find it a lot more difficult when you're in the colder climates?
I don't nah because I got the sauna and then I control what I eat. Like I can control my diet better when I'm in Australia or Sweden. Because here they cook for me, and it's not the same. You don't have time or energy to do anything else but train and sleep when you're in Thailand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I guess it's easier in Australia and Sweden to cut weight because you can control your diet more.
yeah, definitely. I've found, man, like when people say it's like 70% diet,
Yeah,
30% training. Well, not necessarily for fighting, but just like in general, I find that that's quite true.
yeah,
It's all about your diet.
100%.
Because people say like you are what you eat, and it's pretty true.
Yeah, like when I trained here at the first year, I was like, we're training so hard. I can eat whatever I want and I can drink whatever I want without putting on weight. But nah, you can't. Like I was eating the rice and like soda and like chips after training, and I got up like in 1 week I was fat, like fat, like 100% for real fat. So
Oh,
if you just that little extra, nah, you gotta eat clean always.
clean and all in moderation if you want some junk food. Sorry,
Mm,
guys.
yeah.
Now, mate, have you? Now, buddy, what I want to ask you is, have you got any goals or milestones that you have achieved or that you have set yourself that you're still working towards?
I always wanted to be like in the Muay the magazine, and the photo like with me and like some belts and all that before I had a belt, and I achieved that. I got that like a year ago or something, and that was fun. That was cool. But no, I guess just get better and win fights and get get knockouts, and yeah, that's it. Get my name out there.
Mate, you are absolutely 100% achieving that, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Now, mate,
Man.
I heard in an interview you did a while back on the Eight Weapons podcast that in 1 year once you fought 15 times. Mate,
Yeah.
what was that like, and how do you stay so focused and always ready to fight? Like, do you during that time, and I'll say in general, do you ever have much downtime in between fights and coming back to training, or are you always just basically back in the gym the next day after your fight if you're not too
No,
banged up?
yeah, at that time I was like, it was actually 11 months. It was 11 months. It was the first time I stayed long time in Thailand, and I was so hungry. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and it was just when I started to fight on Max and all that. And I just maybe for example, I fight today, yeah, and then my body's alright. I won by knockout, and they like, oh, do you wanna fight in 4 days? And I'm like, my body's fine, and my mind is good, feel confident, fight and win, and they like you won again, and then just step up. So yeah.
So there's not much downtime. You just, if you're sweet to go, you're back in the gym.
Yeah, that year was intense. That was like not too much holiday, but I was also in my mind. I was like, I wanted to become a better fighter and get better, you know. Like, so I didn't think of holiday at that time. This was my holiday, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's different. After 3 years here.
So after your last fight, did you have a bit of downtime, or did you just get back into it again?
Yeah, I got like 2 weeks off.
Well, when you think about all the fights you've had and in such a short period, that's not really a long time, is it?
Yeah, no, true. But yeah, you gotta find a balance. Not too long, but not too hard either.
You can party, just don't party forever.
Exactly.
Now, buddy, just a couple more quick ones, and then I'll let you head off, buddy.
Yeah.
What's the plan fight-wise this year, and have you got anything lined up in the near future?
Not really, man. I'm at the moment, nah. At the moment, just next fight on Top King, and that's it. I've been talking to Sai in Australia from Rebellion, and Don Miller, my trainer, and we see. We're nothing sure, but we've been talking, and we see. I'm not sure.
Just take it as it comes, eh? You'll leave us in suspense.
Yep.
Now, mate, if people want to stay up to date with your fights and follow you, like your training progress, and follow your fight-wise, have you got like a Facebook page or an Instagram account where people can keep up to date with all that stuff?
Yeah, I got an Instagram account. It's just Samuel Bark, as it sounds, all put together. Samuel Bark.
All one word?
Yep.
And that's on Instagram?
That's on Instagram, and then it's the same Samuel Bark, but with a space in between Samuel and Bark on Facebook.
Yep.
But that's not a fan page or anything. It's just my private.
That's your private one.
Profile, yeah.
Yeah. Sweet as, mate. Sweet as. Now, mate, is there anyone you wish to thank or give a shout out to just before I let you bail, mate?
Yeah, shout out to my boys in Australia, Don Miller, Sai Naji. That's it.
Awesome, mate. Well, I just want to say, mate, keep doing what you're doing, because I love watching your fighting style. I love watching people who go forward and just balls to the wall, no self-preservation, man. I love it, and so do a lot of other people, mate. So keep doing what you're doing, man, because it's working, and I certainly took notice. So I appreciate all the all the awesome highlight reels and the KOs you've done, mate.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, mate. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.